much again.
With the coaching side of it, you know, that's something I've always enjoyed and loved doing. Do you know what I mean? Even helping out with the under-8 side. You know, we got Tom, who's the manager, Tom Pickett, who's the manager, and you know, I just decided to get involved in speaking with Tom to really try and boost the boys' technical ability and their levels as well, and just give them a little bit of information that I've picked up over the years on how they can maximize their talent and improve in their ability. And you know, we've seen that over the course of the season, last season, and also going into this season with them being under 7s, and the physical aspect of it, because they all got ability. They're fantastically talented bunch of boys. You know, they all got characters, they all got ability, and it's just a joy to work with, because when you see a bunch of boys like that, you know, and you can see the talent, especially for me, you almost want to work with that talent, because it would be a crime not to. You know, with the knowledge that I've built up over the years and the information that I've acquired, if you see a kid with that level of ability and talent, you know, it's important that you have to maximize it, and that's what we've done with our under-8s. And I think, you know, especially going into the weekend's game and playing a year up, and getting all the way through to the final and winning that, boys going, playing a year up, playing against bigger boys, stronger boys, but still growing into the game and having the confidence to do that. It's just something that I've always believed in, and I think the weekend showed me that, you know, the work that Tom and myself has put into these boys have been nothing short of fantastic, because, you know, just to see them performing at such a high level against players that's in some cases twice the size of one of the boys we got on our side, you know, but you could be as big as you want, but if you got ability, you got ability. If you don't, you don't. And I think, you know, I'm always erring on the side of ability, because if you have the ability and you couple that with the hard work, you will eventually make your way to the top. And I think that's been so evident in our side and in our team. You know, all the boys have worked so hard and got themselves in it. So for me, it's about, that's the reward for me. That's the reward, seeing them playing a tournament like that, get right the way through, and us winning countless amount of tournaments over the summer break as well. So you see them getting better and better each week, and what is great about it, if one player is not at it, another one will be at it, and so on and so on. But it's just a joy to watch when they're all at it, because, you know, you won't get much better group of boys than that. You know what I mean? I think, you know, putting my dad's glasses away, but I think if you look at it just the grand scheme of what it is just that these boys are talented. And I think for me, that's why I'm involved in it, and that's why I love coaching the boys, because there's nothing better than seeing them improve week on week.
Where are we going, Eve?
Somewhere. To the park. To do training.
Always training, isn't it? Do you like it?
Not always training. Yeah, I do like it. But it's sometimes a bit painful. But it's not always training.
And it's not always painful, is it?
Well, it could be when you make it painful. That's when it's painful.
Oh God. That's when we make it painful. Go.
Yes.
Good. Good. Don't forget, when you come off from there, because you know you're playing your right, just get slightly side on so it's a nice little setback. Go. There you go. Good boy. That's it. One more. Go. Good. Perfect.
Good coaching, good information, and being able to interact with the players in a way that the players understand what you're talking about, what you want them to do, and also fill the boys with encouragement, because we're talking about an age group now where boys are so impressionable and need that guidance more than more than anything, because they're at the embryonic stage, so they're like a sponge. They're learning everything, and it's a great time to coach them, but at the same time, they are still young and they are still pretty much babies, so we need to give them lots and lots and lots of confidence, but still crack the whip when we had to, but more importantly, give them confidence to go and say, look, you know what, you got this ability, go out and play.
Okay. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Great adjustment. Yes. Good. Keep going. Yes. Good. Work your feet. Work your feet. Good. That's better. You're too static. Work your feet. That's better. Good. Love that. Work your feet. Work your feet. Good. Work your feet. Better pass. Better pass. Work your feet. Good. Great ball. Work your feet. Good. Great weight of pass. Work your feet. Work your feet. Good. There you go. Work your feet. But anticipate, anticipate. Work your feet. Great touch. Poor execution. Body shape was all wrong. Your body shape's facing that way and you're playing it with your wrong foot. Yeah? Yeah? Let's go.
It's also important to give them the confidence for them to be able to go out there and play with freedom and play with their swag and play with their heads up, because if not, what happens is they revert into their shell, and no matter how good they are, they just won't play for you. So grassroots coaching is so important, and you know, I'm very lucky. I've got Tom around me, I've got Kevin Stewart, I've got Leon Webb around me, so all these boys, you know, and Terry Britton, all these boys, areas, you know, are good coaches, and coaches that understand, you know, what young players need to do in order to progress through to that level. So the importance of having good coaches at grassroots level is important, because that's the first time they actually get introduced to a manager and introduced to a coach. And at that stage, you can either make them or break them, because if you're a coach that is not able to relate or to communicate with the boys, you lose them. And then what happens? You turn that kid away from football. But if you are a good coach and you can communicate and relate with the boys and understand them and fill them with confidence and fill them with that hope and that desire and that drive, then guess what? You give the boys a chance and the boys want to play for you.
Better. Now you drive. As soon as you go around and you turn and you push off. Now you push off. Good. Great turn. Little touches. Lots of little touches. Lots of little touches. Good. Come back through here. Nice little turn. That's it. That's the one. I love that one, Lee. Use your right foot to help you out there. Good. And again. Come on, get round. Get round. Quick. Quick. Good. On top of that red zone.
What are we doing?
Straight through.
Hear what you just said?
Ethan, tell me about the red zone. What is it? Describe it.
Well, you have to do everything sharp and properly. That's basically what it is.
The intent.
Go.
You know, even for myself, having to juggle being a parent and coaching my boys' team, and also being involved with them on the managerial level, and also having to do the day job, which is where you're working with high-level professional athletes, is that, you know, talent is talent, whether it's my son, whether it's another kid, whether it's another person's son. Talent is talent. And for example, I try to deal with my son in the way that I would deal with anybody else's son that has talent, which is to guide him and advise him and to show him what I deem to believe the right way about it, you know. And you know, so I can't treat him any different from another kid that I would have in my under-8s group, because that's just won't be on and that won't be right, and that's just not something that I promote, you know what I mean? I think, and if you're going into that situation, you have to be fair and square and say, well, you know what, if he needs a good telling off, he gets one. If he needs a cuddle, he gets a cuddle. If he needs an arm around his shoulder, he gets that. But I can't go, oh, because he's my son, I can't do this, or because he's my son, I'm going to let him off with that. Do you know what I mean? It has to be fair and it has to be square, and you know, and that's the hardest part in terms of managing and being involved in my son's setup, because I do look at him as a player at that present moment in time when he's at training and when he's at playing matches. I don't look at him as he's my son. Look at him as a player as I would do anybody else. And you know, sometimes for him, that switching my character, I know sometimes it's difficult for him to deal with, but you know, you kind of balance it out by having a chat with him and saying to him that, you know, it's not because you're my son, but it's because you need to improve or you need to learn, and my job is to teach you like anybody else would. And fortunately or unfortunately, in some may say that, you know, he's my son and I'm able to give him that message on a consistent basis. So that's the hardest part of it. But I just think that if you're able to share your information and share your knowledge, whether it's your son or whether it's not your son or another person's child, the most important thing is that you give that information and you give it in the right way.
Don't